Yo, okay, so check this out. Look what I have on the screen right now. I got servant on the screen right now, okay? So I'm going to tell you a story, and I think it's going to take me like 61 bits to tell you this story, right? Because we just got back from dealing with the healthcare industry, right? And this is just what this one's going to be all about, right? Because I got to put this in order right now, right? Because I'm all about the order, right? That's just what I do. I like how things fit together. And now I'm going to show you how the healthcare industry is fit together, right? And we're going to do some fun words, and we're going to show you some fun words. All right, ready? Here we go. All right, so here goes healthcare, right? So whenever you want to know what is healthcare, right, and then you just go and you DuckDuckGo something and you look at what all the images of healthcare show you, this is it right here, right? So I used to work in this part right here in the operating room for a very long time, right? Because when I was in the Navy showed me how to be a body man, right? So I was a body man, also called a corpsman in the Navy, right? And then from there, I learned how to do some other things in the operating room. And then from there, I worked in the operating room all the way up until like the year 2020, right? And then that's when I got my crown, right? That's when I became a lawman, right? And then that's when I started to work for God, and then I started to serve God, right? Because I found out, I was like, oh, okay, I'm supposed to serve God, right? God is good, right? So I said bye-bye to this industry because this industry said if I don't do something with my body that I didn't want to do with my body, then I could no longer work there, right? And I was like, all right, got it, good. I'm done with you guys, so I no longer work with you guys, right? But there's a lot of good men and there's a lot of good women in this industry, right? They just don't know what's up, man, because they lack knowledge, right? So I'm going to show them some knowledge right now, and this is going to be fun, okay? Ready? Here we go. So there's these other people in there, and then so the healthcare people serve other people who they call patients, right? But a patient is just another man or another woman who's going to another man or another woman, and they say, hey man, can you help me out? That's all that's going on right there, right? You just have to remember that, right? So there's patients out there that, there's just all sorts of people out there that call themselves patients, but they're not patients. They're people, right? They're people called men and people called women, right? And that's just how it goes, right? So don't let them confuse you by calling you a patient, all right? Remember that, right? Look at what the image shows when you see patient, right? This is just what we call forms of brainwashing, man. Oh my God, so gross. Okay, so check this out. Here's another one. Disabled, right? That means not able, right? So there's some people out there that don't have abilities, right? So some people don't have the ability to use their senses, right? So if you can't use your senses, then they say that is disabled, right? It doesn't mean what other people say, like, oh my God, you can't do this and you can't do that. Well, it kind of does, right? Because like, if you don't have the ability to walk, then you can't walk. If you don't have the ability to talk, you can't talk, right? If you don't have the ability to see, you can't see. If you don't have the ability to hear, you can't hear, man. So what we say is that you don't have those abilities. You lack those abilities, right? But that doesn't mean that you're still not one of the people. That doesn't mean that you're still not a man or a woman, right? And you have to be treated in a specific way, man. When I don't even want to say treated, right? But you're supposed to be served in a specific sort of way. You're supposed to be served like you're one of the people, right? That's it. Scary simple, right? But in the healthcare industry, they've turned these people into a different category, man. Just like they've turned these people right here into a different category, right? So that's when they trick you with the words, right? So what we like to do now is we like to guard, right? We like to guard those people because we want to protect, right? That's all we do. We just like to protect, right? And this one is we like to protect God's people, right? Because sometimes God's people don't know that they're God's people, and then they call themselves things like patients, right? They call themselves things like persons, or they call themselves things like check off the box, man, whatever it is that you want to call yourself that somebody else is telling you to call you, right? Instead of calling yourself a people, right? Instead of calling yourself a man or a woman, they call you something else, man. And once somebody does that to you, they slide you into a different jurisdiction, and that means you have to follow the rules of another master, and that other master isn't God, right? So if God's your master, then you got to be one of the people. If God's your master, then you got to be a man or a woman, man. It's really that simple, okay? You will be known by your words. Remember that, all right? Remember. All right, so let's keep it going, right? So we got to always establish the boundaries, right? So Proverbs 1:7, remember? The fear of the Lord is the beginning of knowledge, right? but fools despise wisdom and instruction. Remember that. Fools despise wisdom, fools despise instruction, right? So if you try to show people the word, right, and you try to say, hey man, you want to get this knowledge, right, because we try God, we try the Lord, right, and if you don't want to do that, then that means that we know that you're a fool, right? So now we're going to talk to the fools because we're going to try to guide you and we're going to try to show you some knowledge, man. All right, scary simple. Ready? Here we go. Here's another boundary setting. In the beginning, God created the heaven and the earth, right? In the beginning, God created everything that man, woman, child you see, right? So your body was created by God. Scary simple, right? All right, let's keep it going. Protect. All right, so what we like to do is we like to protect, right? We like to protect God's property. Every man, every woman, you have property that you have to protect, and it's God's property, and that's called your body. All right, remember that. You got to protect your body. You got to cover it, right? You have to shield it from danger. You have to shield it from harm. You have to shield it from being damaged. You have to shield it from getting exposed to things you don't want it to, right? You have to shield or cover it from being trespassed upon, right? That's just what you have to do, man. So as God's people, as one of the people, as a man or a woman, that's your duty. That's your responsibility. You have an obligation to do that, man. You cannot defer that obligation to someone else, right? You cannot delegate that obligation to someone else unless you lack certain abilities, right? So if you lack certain abilities, for example, if you can't speak, then you find someone who can speak for you. If you can't hear, then you find someone who can hear for you, right? If you can't talk, then you can find someone who can talk for you. And then you guys need to come together so you guys can be on the same page and you can protect God's property, okay? Scary simple service, right? Let's keep it going, right? You do that through associations, man. So when you unite with someone and you follow someone and you guys are on the same page and you can see the same, and you join in company, you're going to be free, man. Remember that, right? Who else said this? My man Christ. So my man Christ was always saying, follow me, follow me, follow me, right? So when you follow Christ, then that means you associate with Christ, right? So when you follow others, right, you're basically doing what God told you to do, right? Because God sent his son to show you how to do it, right? And all you have to do is follow, right? And all you have to do is unite with, and you become one, okay? Scary simple service, right? Let's keep it going, right? Remember, so we were showing you follow, right? And then you're like, what's follow, right? And then another term for follow just means to see, right? And then when you can see, you can track, right? So you're using your senses to track, right? That's just what's going on right now, right? We're just showing you how to see, right? We're showing you how to look at things, right? And we're using the word to show you how to do that. Ready? All right, here we go. Now we're going to get into order, right? Time out. So we like these timeouts, right? Because this is how we slow things down so you can see what the order is, right? So you can really get your bearings. Okay, ready? God created the world. Check. God created man, aka the people. Check. People created states. Check. People created constitutions. Check. People created governments. Check. Question: when did government become boss of the people? Okay, so we're going to try to answer that, and we're going to show you some words. All right, here we go. So we always want to start off with the maxims. We always want to start off with 11 because we want to show you authority. We want to show you power. We want to show you servant, and we want to show you jurisdiction, right? Because we love the word. Okay, so we want to show you 11A because we want to show you that a delegated power cannot be again delegated. Remember that, right? A deputy cannot have or appoint a deputy. Remember that, right? So God gave every man, every woman, every child a responsibility to watch over and guard God's property. Your body is God's property, right? You cannot delegate that power, to another entity or a deputy and say, will you protect my body? Please protect my body. No, you have to do that, right? Because you're the only one who can be the authority to protect God's property, right? You only have one body. Remember that, right? Remember that. Unless you don't have the ability to do that. And if you don't have the ability to do that, you better associate with people who do. All right, cool. All right, let's keep it going. Right, here we go. Guardian. So we always like to show guardian because we want to show you about inheritance, minor, legal capacity, right? But we always look at 53C, right? 53C is if a guardian do fraud to his ward, right, he shall be removed from his guardianship, right? So if there's people out there that don't have the ability to guard God's property, right, and then you let somebody else have the ability to guard God's property, right, and they don't do it because they're cheating, right, and to cheat means to fraud, and to fraud and cheat take away, right? So if someone takes away your ability to do something, like for you to be happy and then for you to be whole and things like that, then we just remove them from that guardianship, man. And that's real easy right now, right? Because we will know you by your words, and your words will show us your actions. All right, let's keep it going, right? So we're gonna do this, right? Because we're gonna walk through Plato's cave. We're gonna go on a journey, and we're gonna show you the shine, because we're gonna use the light to show you the shine, and hopefully we're gonna take you to the light, so then that way you can know what's up. All right, you know, that's all we're doing. All right, so the way that we do that is that we hang out with the grand jury. Okay, here goes one of my favorite ones right here. These are the ones right here. They always have this look on their face like, oh my God, I'm just so tired of this, man. Won't you just hurry up and just be done? It's Friday, bro. Go chill out. Go have some fun. Come on, baby. Get it done, okay? Right? You know, we love these people. They're so much fun. Look at this one right here. She's just like, not again. Seriously. You know, I want to go to the bar. I just really want to go to the bar. All right, grand jury, let's get some work done, okay? I'm tired of playing with you guys. All right, so check this out. Right, remember, the grand jury always has a function, and the function is to investigate the operations of the various officers, departments, and agencies of local government. Right, so we're going to show you local government right now. Ready? Here we go. Right, we always show you the words. Right, so we always look for bad small masters. That's what maladministration means, right? So if you're not managing the affairs of the people properly, that means you're a bad small master, and we will check you on that now, right? So we always look for treason, and we look for those who deliver the trust, right? We look for those who hand over the trust, right? We look for anyone who betrays the trust of we the people, right? And we will know that by your words and your actions. Really simple now, right? You know, so we also look for war, right? We look for anyone who confuses or mixes up the people, and they tend to do that with the words that they try to call the people, right? So now we know when you bring war, right, you're bringing confusion, and you're trying to mix up what we the people are, okay? Scary simple service, all right? So check this out right here. Preamble, right? So before we walk, right, we always want to show you what's up, because we always want to show you where the power comes from. Remember, we the people of the state of California, grateful to Almighty God. What's up, God? Thanks for the shine. We love you. For our freedom, in order to secure and perpetuate its blessings, do establish this Constitution. Remember that, right? You know, so that's where the power comes from. The power comes, and the Constitution comes from the people, and the people got their power from God. Remember that, okay? This is for all you public servants out there right now, right? Because this one's going to you guys, right? Because I'm a little hot right now with you guys, all right? Check it out. Right, so we want to show you what's up with Article 1, Section 1 of California Constitution. Right here it says all people are by nature free. Remember, all people by God are free and independent and have inalienable rights, right? Remember, right, life and liberty, right? Every man, every woman, you can have your life. You got to be able to defend your life, and you got to be able to be free. It's really simple, man. We're showing you the words, right? We're showing you the words. Remember, in this one too, privacy, right? Privacy. So these are the words that you must master, right? Because these are your rights. Remember that, right? So we're looking at Article 1, California Constitution, Section 3. Check out the text, right? Assemble freely to consult for the common good, right? So all people can assemble freely to consult for the common good. What does that even mean? I'm going to show you right now, okay? Check this out. This is what assemble means. Assemble means to like, to resemble, two of the same kind, right? So when you assemble and you come together, you're just the same, man. It's really easy, okay? That's all you have to do, right? So check this out. Now we're going to show you what consult means, another two-word word, right? Con meaning with, together, consult, salt, right? From here, sele, to take, right? With, together, to take, right? It's really easy, right? It's really easy, right? So most people think about it from right here. Ask advice of, right? You know, whatever, right? I just want you to take something from me, right? And I want you to hear my words right now, right? And that's all we're doing is showing you the words, right? So we're even going to show you what take means, right? You know, take just means to seize, right? And that's something that you do with your hands, right? So these are all action words, right? Ready? So here we go. We're always going to go back to the California Constitution because we want to show you Article 1, Section 18. Treason, remember, if you betray the trust against the state is we the people, consists only in levying war, war meaning to confuse or mix up, against it meaning the state, meaning we the people, adhering to its enemies, meaning enemies of the people, or giving them, meaning enemies, aid and comfort, right? So if you give aid and comfort to enemies of the people, that's called war, that's called treason. So if you confuse the people, if you mix up the people, that's called war, that's called treason. If you betray the trust of the people and you hand over or you deliver something that you don't have the authority to deliver from the people, that's called treason, that's called war. Remember that, all right? We're just showing you what's up with the words now. All right, so check it out. We love this illustration right here because it easily shows you what the hierarchy is, man. Remember, so God is always up top. People are right here, right? And then the constitutions are right here because we, the people, wrote the constitutions for all of our public servants to operate in, right? You know, so the government sits right here, right? And then the government's entities sit right here. And then underneath that are all the businesses that sit right here, right? So when, like, example, so when you go and you want to see a doctor or a hospital or something like that, they're way down here, right? They are way down here. So we, the people, are up here. Hospital, healthcare people, you guys are all down here, right? So you have to understand where you are in this hierarchy, right? You know, so when we come to see you, you better act accordingly, right? You know, so you need to look up and see, oh no, one of the people are here, right? You know, we better treat them like they're supposed to be treated, right? You know, we're just letting you know what's up right now, okay? So check it out, right? We want to show you spirit because spirit is just something that we like to show because it's all about the blow, right? Spirit just means to blow, and then that's the life, right? That's the life, right? It's also the ghost, right? And then when you have that one ghost and you have that Holy Ghost, you can blow, man. But you know, some people also have other spirits inside of them called demons, right? And demon just means to divide. So if you're divided and you're just, you know, chattering amongst yourself with all of these different ideas that are going on inside of your head, we say that you might be possessed. You have a different spirit that might be a demon, man, because if you don't walk with one ghost, right? If you don't have that one ghost, that Holy Ghost, then we know that you're something else now, man. And we're still going to talk to you. We're still going to hang out with you because we want to get you to become one, man. Really simple, right? You know, demon isn't really as bad as what you think it is. It just means divided, right? You know, when you're all divided and you're all separate and you don't know what's up, right? We try to make you one, man. Scary, simple service, right? Let's keep it going. Word, right? So word is just easy. It's just what you speak and what you say, right? So in the beginning was the word. Remember that, you know, hi God, thanks for the shine, right? You know, so when you speak and when you say, that's the word. Scary simple, right? Let's keep it going. Trade. Oh no, what does that even mean, right? You know, if you're in the trade services, right, you know, that just means something that you're doing. We're just watching and seeing how you track, right? What's your course, right? This is another action word, right? See, path, track, course of action, man. We're trying to see what you're doing, man. So we're watching you. Okay, watch this. Tread, right? When you tread just means to run, walk, step, right? So we watch how you run, we watch how you walk, and we watch how you step, right? So whatever industry that it is that you're doing, we're watching how you move, man. That's what we do now. Okay, so check this out. Service. Service is really easy, right? Because service means slave, right? So when you're a slave, then you serve, right? What does serve mean, right? So when you serve and you're a slave, that means you're a shepherd. That means you're an observation or you're an observer. That means you're a guardian. Remember that, right? You know, servant, slave is not a bad word, right? It is a very honorable term, right? You are a shepherd, right? You have to observe things with your eyes and you have to guard things with your eyes, right? You have to protect things, right? You know, so if you're in a service industry, that is a very honorable industry, man, right? And you must act with honor when you are one of those servants. Remember that, man. You are a shepherd. You are a guardian. You are a protector. Remember that. You must watch over whoever it is that you serve. Remember, it's very simple, right? So deprive. I gotta take a deep breath now. So deprive. So when you deprive someone, you are taking away something that's private. Really easy, right? Two-word. Deprive. Prive meaning for private, right? What is private? We're going to show you what private is, right? Private means one's own, right? You know, in front of, before. It's separate, right? When you're private, you are separate, right? You're not part of the collective, right? You know, you're a separate, right? And you must treat it as much, right? It's really easy, right? Private is very special. Private is one's own. Scary simple, right? Let's keep it going. Patient, right? So we started off with this one because we showed you the image of patient. Where was it? Right, here goes patient, right? You see patient right here, right? Now when you see it over here, where is it? Right here, private, patient. Look at what they show you. Patient, bearing, patient from Latin, patientum, bearing, supporting, suffering, enduring, permitting. From patience. Oh, okay, let's follow patience now, right? You always got to track the words, man. We're showing you how to track the words. Right? Oh, I didn't even do that one. Right? So patience, that's what patience is. I'm sorry. That's what patience is bearing, supporting, suffering, enduring, permitting, capable of, right? These are all the words that show that this actions is happening to you. It's really easy, man. It's just not cool. We don't like it. Look at that. Suffering, injured, right? So all of those people that we showed you, they're suffering, they're injured, right? Not really. They're still people. They're still men. They're still women, right? They're not patients. Right? They are not patients. They are men and they are women. I'm going to show you another word. Doctor, right? This is what doctor means. Doctor means to take, accept, from docere, right? Or dec, right? You see that? Also, religious teacher. Also, advisor. Also, scholar, right? You see that? Also, just teacher. Also, to show, right? So you have a lot of doctors out there right there, right? They're just not what you think they are. It's just not a medical doctor. You see like what they have right here, medical doctor. It's much bigger than that, right? Doctor is about seeing and taking, right? And accepting. It's vision, man. It's vision and it's physical. All right, let's keep it going. Physician. This is a fun word, right? Because physician is another two-word word, right? Because you have physic in there and Ian, right? But basically it's healer, right? It's a healer, right? So when you see physician, doctor, sage, right? This is when you start seeing all that stuff from back in the day. But then when you scroll down, right, a physic, a healing potion. What are you talking about, right? So that's just a fun word, right? Physician is just a fun word because basically it's just all about the physic, right? And then when you're all about the physic, right, you're all just about knowledge of nature, right? That's it. If you got that knowledge of nature about how to be, how to exist, and how to grow, then you got that physic, man, right? And you better be able to teach people how to be in that physic, okay? All right, let's keep it going. Leech. We like this one too because it's fun, because look at this one. Leech traces back to physician, right? But it's an obsolete word, right? Because when you look at it, there's all sorts of fun things, but check it out. From leg, right? That has to do with law too. To collect, gather, with derivatives, meaning to speak or to pick out words, right? So when you go see a physician, they should be able to pick out the proper words that will be able to heal you, right? They should be able to tell you how to make yourself better, right? They should be able to give you the correct words to help you become one. That's what they're supposed to do, right? It's scary simple, right? They're just supposed to be to talk to you, right? That's what a physician is supposed to do. They got to speak and they got to pick out the right words, right? Okay, let's keep it going. Surgeon. We like this one because it's another fun word, right? Surgeon is another two-word word, right? It means the hand and then work, right? Ges for the hand, and then ergon, work, right? So whenever you have a surgeon, that means you're doing hand work, right? It's a really easy word, right? It is very simple because if you can work with your hands, then that means you're a surgeon, right? Remember that. All right, let's keep it going. Treat, right? You got treat right here. It's another simple word, man. That means to pull or to draw, right? We're building here, right? So if you're treating someone, you're pulling them and you're drawing them in, right? So if you give somebody a little piece of candy and you're like, here, you want some candy? We call that a treat because you're pulling them and you're drawing them in with this sweetness. All right, so check this out. Here we go. Hi, Bureau of Labor and Statistics. We like hanging out with you. Oh, who are we going to hang out with? We're going to hang out with a physician and a surgeon, right? So this is basically what the U.S. Bureau of Labor and Statistics say what a physician and surgeons do. It's very easy. Look at this. Physicians and surgeons diagnose and they treat injuries or illnesses and address health maintenance, man. It's really easy. It's really simple, right? So we just showed you what all the words were for physician. We showed you all the words for surgeon, right? We showed you all the words what treat was, right? Diagnose just means with knowledge, right? It's really easy. Health just means to make whole or make one, right? Ill is just the opposite of, man. That just means that you're not whole, you're not one, okay? So we have a lot of people out there that are running around calling themselves physicians and surgeons, and we're questioning, are they helping people become whole? Are they helping people become one, right? Or are they just doing this for this right here, right? Are they chasing mammon? Right, are they chasing the gains and the riches, right? Because do they like to make certain amounts of money, right? So then that way they can have a specific lifestyle, that they're like, oh, we love this one, right? For example, like we saw one woman right there, and then she had a rock on her finger. It was just like massive. It was huge, right? And then she was just talking, and and she was just like, she was not talking with the woman who was supposed to be her patient, right? She was more or less talking at them like they were an object, like they were not real. And that's not cool, man. You're supposed to treat every man and every woman, all people, the same, man, because we're all the same, remember? All right, let's keep it going, right? So the reason why we're showing you all of this, right, because we're showing you where the physicians and the doctors get their power from, right? They get it from the CA.gov, right? The Medical Board of California, right? Remember that, right? The Medical Board of California. This is what their role is. The Medical Board of California is a state government agency. That's called a public servant, right? So it's a public servant with delegated power and delegated authority, right? And they license and discipline medical doctors, okay? So if you call yourself an MD, right, that means you're a servant of we the people, right? And you need to know that now, right? So when a man or a woman or one of the people comes into your office, you better treat them accordingly, right? There's a hierarchy and the people are on top, right? The people are on top and servants are right here underneath them because you have a duty and you have an obligation to serve all the people. Scary simple, right? All right, let's keep it going. Physicians. Hi, physicians. This one's for you. Check this out. We're just showing you what's up, man. This is where you get your license from. Remember, a physician or a surgeon, MD, is an individual issued a license, meaning you get permission, from the state or from the government, allowing you to practice medicine, right? So we the people who created the governments, right? So we the people created the governments that now give these people the ability to practice medicine. Remember that, right? So we the people are your boss, right? So every physician out there, every surgeon out there, remember, when you want to know who your boss is, your boss are we the people, right? Not patients, right? So if you want to cause confusion and you want to mix up the words and say when a people comes in and when a man or a woman comes into your office, right? And then you say, oh, we have a patient because we're doing patient care. No, not true. You better correct yourself, man, because you are serving the people, right? That's what your role is, right? You have to serve the people. You don't serve patients, man. There's no such thing as a patient, right? You're serving the people. And now we're going to correct you on that one right now, okay? Because if you act outside of your bounds, we're coming after you. We're going to come after you and we're going to show you what's up, man. You thought that your lawyers had you covered, right? You thought that your American Medical Association had you covered. We're going to show you. We're going to show you where the power comes from because we the people wrote the constitutions that allow you to operate in, that allowed you to even get your license, that allow you to practice your medicine. Remember that, man. I'm a little hot right now because I'm watching these people treat people not cool, right? They treat them like objects, and I don't like that because I have to protect, right? And that's just what I do because that's what God told me to do, okay? Check it out. Here we go. What are we going to protect them from? Against domestic violence. Remember that. The United States shall guarantee to every state in this union a Republican form of government. Remember that. That means affairs of the people, right? And then after that, against domestic violence, right? So if you try to bring any violence to the people, we're going to get you on that, man. What is violence? We're going to show you what violence is right now, man. So check it out. Violence, right, means vehement, right? Forcible. Look at that. Physical force. used to inflict injury or damage, right? So we are protecting the people because we protect them from harm, we protect them from injury, we protect them from damage, man. That's what we're showing you right now. So we're protecting you from physical violence right now too, right? So check out what vehement means, right? This is what vehement means. Vehement means to go, to move. What? Oh, okay. Got it. Good. So if someone's trying to move on you in a physical, forcible way, right? That's what vehement means, man. Scary simple, okay? It's another one. Moon. Oh, look at this one. Vehi, lacking, wanting, men's, mind, right? Lacking, wanting, mind. Oh, we like that one, right? We like that one. I'm going to have to research that one even more because men's is in there. It is meant, and that's mind, right? Lacking mind, right? So if you're lacking mind or if you're wanting mind, right, that means you're vehement. Ooh, that's a fun one. All right, I'm going to come back to you, vehement. I just found something else about you. Violation. Remember this one, right? Violence, violation, to go after, pursue with vigor or desire, right? So if you're coming after me and you're trying to violate me, if you're coming after me in a very vigorous way, right? If you're pursuing me, that means you're trying to violate me, and that's a violation, man. If you're trying to use strength, force, power, or energy, right? If you're trying to use any of these things to come after me or to pursue me, right? Example, like by calling me by outside of my name, instead of calling me a man or a woman or one of the people and calling me a patient, right? And then if you call me a patient and then now you're going to try to move me in a specific way and you try to put me on some type of thing and then you move me in all these weird ways, right? I'm thinking that you're violating me, right? That's what I'm thinking that's happening right now, right? Because you're using power over me because you've tricked me and called me outside of my name, right? Because if you trick me and call me a patient, right, and then you're saying I'm providing patient care, right? No, you're providing a service to the people. So you are supposed to be a slave to the people. You are supposed to guard the people. And if you're not doing that, because if you think that I'm something else called a patient, then that means that you're violating me, man. Scary simple, right? And I'm going to show you what's up with that, right? So remember, I showed you something. I showed you that the California board, or the Medical Board of California, which is a servant of the people, created another entity called licenses, that allow these people to work in it, right? So that looks like two people working together, right? So if you got two people working together, that means they're breathing together, right? And if you're breathing together, that allows you to practice medicine. If it allows you to do work, right, that other people aren't able to do because you have a little piece of paper that says that you can do that, we call that conspire. That means you're breathing together, right? So if you breathe together, and then if you have, look at this, 18 U.S. Code, subsection 241, conspiracy against rights, right? So if two or more persons conspire to injure, we'll stop right there, right? So if you guys are talking, right, and then you're saying, hey, man, let's go ahead and, make this little agency that now gives people the permission, the ability to go ahead and practice medicine, and then they have to come through us to get a little piece of paper so then that way they can go and they can work on people, right? But then we'll call the people patients, and we won't call them people, and then we'll put them in a different jurisdiction and we'll regulate that, right? That's called conspiracy against my rights, man, because every man, every woman, all people, we have the ability to be free, right? And we have the ability to be private, and we have the ability to be safe, man. So if you are going against any of our constitutional rights because you've mislabeled us by calling us a patient, we call that conspiracy against our rights, man. Scary simple, right? So check this out. Here we go, right? Also 18 U.S. Code, subsection 242, deprivation of rights under the color of law, right? So if you are now using codes and statutes, right? If you're coloring the law and then you're saying, well, you have to have this little piece of paper in order for you to go and become a doctor, and then once you become a doctor or a physician or a surgeon, and then you can work on the people, right? But then we're going to call those people not people, but we'll call them patients, and then we'll regulate that and we'll call it commerce, and it'll be commercial, right? So now if you've taken away people's ability to assemble, to consult and come together because you've made an industry an artificial monopoly by saying that you have to come through us in order for us to to get a little piece of paper that says that we can go work with people and we can go serve people and make them whole and make them one, we're going to call that deprivation of rights under the color of law, because you've created fake laws, you've created statutes, and you've created ordinances and regulations that are depriving and stopping the people from being free, happy, safe, and private, right? And we can show you that all day long, because we just showed you how you did that with the medical boards, man. So every medical board of every state is an example of deprivation of rights under the color of law, man. Scary simple service, right? So if you have to get a little license that allows you to do work, right, that you can normally do in the private, right, with the people, and then you create an artificial monopoly and says that no one can come into this industry unless they get a piece of paper from us, that's called deprivation of rights under the color of law, and we're coming after you now, right? So if you are a medical doctor, if you are a physician or a surgeon and you work under a license, we will also be coming after you for deprivation of rights under the color of law, especially if you no longer treat people as people, but you treat them as a patient, right? So if you call a man or a woman or the people a patient, and then they are now being harmed and how they're being treated by their servant, right? We're going to get you for deprivation of rights under the color of law, man. It's so much fun because we just use the words now that you guys already created, okay? Scary simple service. Remember? So we always want to know who, right? We always want to know who and what, right? Like who gave you that ability? Who gave you that power? What authority do you have, man, right? And then when you scroll down, I remember I was like, is how here? How is here, right? So when you got who and you got what and you got how, right, you're also going to know why, right? And then you're also going to know where, right? So you got it all right here with just who. So once you understand where who comes from, then you're going to understand where everything else comes from. Then you're going to be able to answer queries. Then you're going to be able to answer questions. Then you're going to be able to be boss, man. It's scary simple, right? All right, let's keep it going. Author, right? We always like this one, right? Because Father God, I love you. That's my author, right? The Creator God, that's my author, right? The one who brings me out, that's God, that's my author, right? The one who causes me to grow, that's my author. That's the one who has authority over my property, right? God. It's really easy, scary simple, right? So if you believe that you have authority to administer God's property, my body, please show me where you got that authority from. I'm going to ask you that. If you're not my author, if you're not God, and we don't have something written on a piece of paper that says, I've given you the authority, the power, the ability to be able to do what you think that you can do, then we're going to get you, man, right? Because it's really easy, because we will know you by the words right now, man. All right, check it out. Power, right? We like this one too because it's all about ability, right? And then where you get that ability from, you get it from the Lord, right? And then when you were like, well, what's the Lord, right? And then we're going to show you what the Lord is, right? The Lord is the keeper. The Lord is the guardian. The Lord is the master of a household. The Lord is the ruler, right? That's what's up with that, man. So who's my Lord? Jesus Christ, right? Who's my keeper? God, right? Who's my guardian? Jesus Christ. Who's my guardian? God. Scary simple, right? Check it out. Who's the master of my household where my body lives, right? God, right? Jesus Christ. Who's my ruler? God, Jesus Christ. Scary simple, right? So we will know you by your words, man, because they're the ones that watch out for me. They're the ones that see me, right? It's God and it's my man Christ, right? So that's my keeper and that's my guardian, right? And those are who I serve because I am their slave. I'm the servant, right? I am God's servant, right? I am Christ's servant, right? That's just what I do now, right? Because they are my lords. Scary simple, right? So now we ask you, who is your Lord? Who is your master? And when you answer us, we will know who you serve, right? It's really easy, okay? So let's go ahead and get to this notice right here, right? So we always want to let you know that there's always going to be a notice in the description. And right now we got this one right here because we want to let Congress know, our public servants know, that they have no authority to interfere in the people's inherent right to bear arms, right? So stay away from my arms, right? For their protection, meaning the people's protection according to their condition, right? Okay, so check this out. When you scroll down here and you check it out, it's a notice meaning knowledge, and demand to cease and desist from attacking the people's rights to protect themselves and states. Remember, right? So we do this, right? And we show you. So now we wish for you, if you're hearing our words, to click on this link, right? And then go to this notice and then fill it out. Read the words, fill it out, because it's full of power, man. Because we're putting our servants on check right now, man, because they've been acting all out of bounds right now, right? So we're also probably going to create one for the doctors, the physicians, and the surgeons out there, because we're going to have to put them in check too, because they're acting out of bounds right now, right? Because all people have an inherent right, and we have to protect ourselves, right? So don't believe that the doctors and the physicians are protecting you because they're making you fill out paperwork that says that, oh, we're just protecting ourselves, right? You have to protect yourselves, because you cannot delegate power and you cannot delegate authority to someone else to protect you. You must protect yourself, right? And this is what we're showing you that you have to do all the time, man. Scary Simple Service. And then this notice is an example of how you protect yourself with your arms, man. Remember that, okay? Here's another way you protect yourself. You protect yourself with Liberty Dollar, right? Because this is a private financial association, right? Some people think of it as like a bank, but it's not a bank. It's a financial association where people agree to come together, right? It's private money for private people. Remember that, right? So click on this link. Shout out to my man David Jose, right? Because he showed me this one. Click on this link, go to this link, read the words, read what it's about, and join it, right? Because when you join it and you follow me, right? Do what Christ said, you become one and you unite with it. And then you're going to unite with private money, and you're going to unite with private people. And then you guys are going to be able to do some amazing things, man. So much fun. Okay. All right. Let's get into our reps, right? We got our reps right now, right? Matthew 6:24. Remember, no man can serve two masters. Remember that. Ye cannot serve God and Mammon. Remember that, right? You must choose, right? In this realm, you have to choose. Do you serve God or do you serve Mammon, right? Mammon is called riches and Mammon is called gains, right? Mammon is those people that are out there chasing that money, man. So if you chase that money and that's all you chase, then we know that you're not serving God, right? It's really easy. We will know you by your words and we will know you by your actions, man. Scary Simple Service. All right, let's keep it going. Here we go. We like this one too. Because I always wanted to know, who am I? Who created me? Where did I come from? And nobody ever showed me Genesis, chapter 1, verse 26, right? It would have told me right here, right? And God said, let us make man in our image. I'm a man. Oh, okay. So God made me. God made me in his image. Oh, okay, that's cool. After our likeness. So when I see myself in the mirror, I know that I am in the image of God. Thank you, God. Thank you for creating me. And thank you for writing it down in a book that I can go and I can read and I can see the word and I can see where I come from now. I can see what image I come from, right? And then I can also see what my power is and let them have dominion, right? Let them have dominion, meaning man, have dominion over the fish of the sea and over the fowl of the air and over the cattle and over all of the earth and over every creeping thing that creepeth upon the earth. Oh, okay. So God made me, right? And then God made me in the image of God, right? And then God told me that I have dominion, that I'm the boss over everything. Okay, got it. Good, man. Thanks, man. So then God created man in his own image. Really? That's cool. In the image of God created he, him. Got it. Good. Male and female. Uh-oh, women, you were in here too, right? Created he, them, right? So God created man, God created woman. Right? God created everything that it is that we see. And then when man and woman, when you look in the mirror and you look at your image, you know that you are in the image of God, man. And you also have to know that you have dominion over God's property and you must protect it, right? Because that's a huge responsibility, right? You cannot delegate that to someone else. You cannot do that. You have to administer God's kingdom because that is a huge responsibility, all right? I got to beat that one in the head, man, because a lot of people always try to give other people the power and the ability to do stuff for them, right? That's why people go to therapists and they go to a therapist and they're like, will you make me whole? Will you make me feel better about myself? It's like, dude, talk to God, man. If you talk to God, God's going to show you the love, man. And if you read the book, right, if you read the Bible, God's going to show you how much he loves you. Like, God loves you so much. he sent down his only son, right? And he said, yo, I'm going to send down my son, and then my son is going to get murdered by you people because you people are just off the hook, right? And then he's going to be the sacrifice that's going to get you back to heaven, right? That's what God did, man. He did that for every man and every woman, man. Go read the book. It's a beautiful story. All right, so let's keep it going. Psalms 82:6, man. Remember this one. I have said, yea are gods, and all of you are children of the Most High, right? So who said that? God said that. God is called Big G, and he's telling little g, every man and every woman, every child, you are all little g, right? I don't care what you look like. I don't care what skin color you have. I don't care what language you speak, right? We will translate this for you, right? Because Big G said you're little g, right? And in little g, you are all children of the Most High, right? So when you look up and you're like, who's the Most High? Just look up. That's where the Most High is, right? You know, and you're like, oh, I'm a child of that. Yeah, that's what you are. You're a child of that, but you're a little g, right? You know, because when you look up, you're looking up at Big G, man. It's really easy. So now you know, right? In little g, you have a huge responsibility, right? You have to be the caretaker of this whole realm, right? And that means that we all have to work together. That means we all have to follow each other, and we have to work as family, man, because we're all children of the Most High. Remember that, okay? One family, right? Let's keep it going. John 1:1. Yeah, what's up, bro? Check this out. In the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with God, and the Word was God. Remember that, right? It's really easy. John 1:1 tells us all the time. And the Word was God, right? So in the beginning was the Word, and the Word was God. Got it? Got it good. Thanks, God. We love you. Thanks, Word. We love you too, man. You guys give us so much knowledge, right? Oh my God. I just love them. All right, so check it out. Time out. Time out. We're going to close it out, right? Remember, order of the realm. Order. God created the world. Check. God created man, aka the people. Check. People created states. Check. People created constitutions. Check. People created governments. Check. Question. When did government become boss of the people? Answer. Never. The people are the bosses. Remember that, right? You know, the people are up top, right? And then all governments are underneath that. All businesses are underneath that. And anybody who's working in those businesses are underneath that, right? Remember that, right? There's a hierarchy. So whatever your title is, if you don't call yourself a man, if you don't call yourself a woman, if you don't call yourself one of the people, and you're doing something in your trade as a title, that means that you must serve we the people. Scary simple. Got it? Got it good. Okay? You know, so that was it, man. I just wanted to show the servants what's up, man, because you and I, we're the same, man. You know, it's like I'm a servant, I'm a slave, I serve God, right? I follow Christ, right? That's what I do. And then when I said that what I would do that means that I serve God first, and then I serve others, meaning I serve the people second, and then I serve myself last, man. It's in that order. It's scary simple, right? You know, so I know how you're supposed to act. I know what you're supposed to do. And when you see another man and you see another woman, or if you see another people out there, please treat them with respect. Please treat them like how they're supposed to be, because they are in the image of God, right? It is one of God's creations. It is one of God's creatures, right? That's what we are. We are all servants of God, man. Scary simple, okay? All right, you know, so that's it, man. I'm done with this bit, man, because, you know, I just had to put this one out there because the medical people, man, like you're just acting outside of your boundaries right now. And you guys need to get back to doing what you're supposed to be doing, man. You're supposed to be a servant, right? You're supposed to serve those people, man, right? And then it's these people right here, right? Where are they? Right here. The disabled people, man, you know, you're supposed to serve them, right? So if they can't speak, if they're looking like this, man, and you're not out there and you're not giving them what the service that they need and they require and they demand, man, shame on you. Seriously, shame on you, man, because you're serving someone else if you don't serve these people with your heart, man, your heart and your mind, man, because that's what we're supposed to do, because we're all children of the Most High, okay? Remember that, all right? So I'll talk to you guys in the future. Remember, nobody's having more fun than us. Bye.